So I know you're a keynote speaker. So what advice can you give authors who are wanting to make the transition into the keynote speaking world?
Well, it's a great question. It's something I think quite a bit about. Now, I think the starting point is the book that you write is your lead magnet. In other words, that is the key marketing collateral that's going to get attention for you from Keynote. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're prepared to be a keynote speaker. So the world of keynote speaking is really a world unto itself. There are organizations that help develop keynote speakers. I mention that because I came from the background of being a professor, so I had a tremendous amount of time being in front of students, being in front of executives. In other words, doing a tremendous amount of public speaking. Not everybody that's going to be writing and finishing a book is going to have that opportunity. So really understanding what keynote speaking is and investing in your own development as a keynote speaker, in other words, practice and training, is going to be critically important. I would say that's probably step one. And it's never too early to start that. So if you don't have that background, start thinking about that while you're writing the book. Because again, you want as long a lead time as you can. The other thing is if you're thinking about going into keynote speaking and you're working on your book, you can write the book with an expectation that I want to be able to package this in a way that I can deliver keynote speaking. That can affect, for example, how you structure the book. That can affect the types of examples that you focus on in the book, because you want to pull material from the book into your keynote speaking. If you're not writing the book with an eye on eventually becoming a keynote speaker, you actually may miss opportunities that can really benefit you from a keynote speaking standpoint. Again, not missing any opportunity to get in front of people to talk, even if that means talking for free. You're going to have to be, unless you're coming again with a wildly timely and sexy topic or a wildly high profile already, chances are you're going to have to do the heavy lifting in terms of the marketing. So that means you need to be open to opportunities to speak for free, just to practice, number one. Two, to get your name out there, because the world of keynote speaking, yes, there's a formal marketing side to it. What I mean by that is the importance of having your own website, for example. Being able to be engaged with a speaking bureau would be another example. But a lot of it is going to be word of mouth. So you need to figure out a way, how do you stimulate that word of mouth? How do you create some positive buzz about you? That's why having opportunities to speak, even if it's for free, if it's an audience that are connected to the people you eventually want to speak to, that's going to be really important. The final thing that I'll mention, and this really sort of depends upon the type of book you're writing. We wrote what is commonly referred to as a trade press book, sometimes called a practitioner book, oftentimes called an airport book, right? The type of business book that you see at an airport bookstore. I mention that because those books are often amenable to being bought in bulk by corporations for events. And that's a really great opportunity for keynote speaking. So if you can get on the radar of a large organization in terms of interest in your book, you can use that as a stepping stone into keynote speaking, because oftentimes they'll invite the author to be the keynote speaker and order a very large quantity of the books for people that are attending that audience. So that would be another way. And then finally, I think you do need to invest in some formal marketing efforts. And I think as a baseline, that's going to mean you're going to need to have your own website. And eventually what you want to have on that website is, sometimes they're called sizzle reels, but basically video clips that demonstrate that you've been participating in keynote speaking. So again, what you're trying to build is that credibility, that social proof, as a lot of people that are interested in talking about influence and persuasion. So again, the website with an edited video reel of you participating in different speaking engagements is also going to be really helpful to build that speaking business.